Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, I think at this point everybody's going to be pretty much new here. So here I am making a homemade pizza and I'm using my bread machine to make the dough. So here I'm showing you all the ingredients of me putting it into the bowl that's going to go into the bread machine. I will have the ingredients, the recipe for this below in the description box. This is one of my husband's favorite meals, and I absolutely love using my bread machine. And my good friend Key Dowd, if you are listening, um, get yourself a bread machine, girl, because this is going to help you not slave away in that kitchen like we had talked about. So my friend Key, really wonderful person, one of my favorite peeps for quite some time now. We were talking the other day, and she doesn't like to cook. She thinks she's slaving away in the kitchen. So I promised her some videos of some things she could do that would be just as delicious and not slave away in the kitchen. So here we are. It's ready to go into the bread machine. So once you put your ingredients in, with this particular bread machine, if I can find it, I'll link it down below. I bought the same one for two of my daughters. They absolutely love this bread machine, and I could be even more happier with it. You're going to put this in for an hour and 40 minutes on the dough cycle. Now, I will say my very first bread machine was a Betty Crocker, the very first original Betty Crocker. That thing lasted me for 20 years. They don't make them like that anymore. I'm going to be honest with you. So once that one went, I went with a different bread machine, and I didn't really care too much for it. So I ended up with this one being my third one, and it works just as good. Absolutely love it. I miss my good old Betty Crocker though, but I still have my old recipes that I still use for this one. So when I open up the bread machine, you saw what the dough should look like. It's like it shouldn't be sticking to the sides. It shouldn't be sticky at all. So here what you see me doing is I have my Pampered Chef stonewares that I'm going to use to put the pizza crust on. I make two. I make a large and I make a medium one because I use the smaller one for my husband's lunches. He says he loves the pizza cold in his lunches. So here I'm adding just a little bit of oil on the bottom of it to keep it from sticky. You don't want to add too much, but my husband doesn't like crispy dough. He likes his dough to be very soft. So here on this island, we have all of the ingredients that has to deal with what's going on this pizza. And you can see my husband in the background playing his games. I did not realize I was going to be recording his shadow through the oven. Very funny, bless his heart. So as we are going to be rolling out this dough, I promise you the more you do this, the easier it's going to get. You just know what your measurements are. You just know how much you need. And I'm just using some pizza sauce here. We don't like a lot of pizza sauce in ours. And we have some toppings here. He particularly likes mushrooms and black olives, and I like to shred my own cheese because it does melt better. Now, I will say, pick yourself up some Munster cheese and kind of mix some of the Munster cheese in with the mozzarella cheese. Best pizza ever. In my pizza dough, I do like to add some garlic. You really can't taste it, but it does give it a good, flavor to it. And I do that as part of the putting it into the bread machine. It all mixes together along with some Italian seasoning. Now, in theory, you could add some Italian seasoning onto this if you truly wanted to add a little bit of extra seasoning onto it for a little bit extra flavor. I'm not going to do that. It's in my dough. I can taste it. That's good enough for me. So here I'm just using my little Pampered Chef teeny tiny roller because you're not going to get a really large roller on this, and we're just going to roll it to the pan size. Now the pan I'm using here first has a lip on it, so it's easy to figure out how to get to the edge. The other one, it just has the handles. It really doesn't have the lip on it. But yeah, I mean, this pizza is fabulous. Like, it is some of the best pizza you will have, and it does not really take a lot of effort to make it. You could probably prep your ingredients earlier in the week. You could make your bread dough. You could um, freeze it. Freeze half of the bread dough if you wanted to save pizza for later, or if you want to make it ahead of time, you can freeze your dough. Just make sure you take it out and thaw in the fridge about 24 hours in advance. I prefer it fresh, so that's really up to you. When you're using the dough cycle, you're not going to be able to set a time for this to start later. So you would really have to do this on a weekend if you work during the week, or I don't know if you would have 2.5, 3 hours to play after work to do this, but those are some of the things that you can do, to make meal prep a little bit easier for you. I know people who will go this far and put all the toppings on the pizza and just throw the whole pizza in the freezer. I mean, you can do that too. But there is a difference between fresh pizza and frozen pizza, and pizza dough that's been in the fridge for 24 hours. So I'm just going to put that out there. I mean, your taste buds are your taste buds, but this is usually a meal that my husband will ask for on a pay-per-view. We watch a lot of WWE, or, it's something I can't figure out what I want to make. I'll make one of these because I've always got canned olives and bar cheese to shred up, and we always have pepperoni because I pack it in my husband's lunch. I always have canned mushrooms. I don't really buy fresh mushrooms. I always use canned mushrooms because the produce these days seem to go bad a lot faster than normal. But yeah, we're going to add some pizza sauce on here, and I do not like a lot of sauce on my pizza. I don't like my pizza to be saucy. But you can put as much sauce in there as you want. You can take the sauce all the way to the end. But look how pretty that is. That pizza dough looks phenomenal. So once you're done with that, I sometimes will put the pepperoni on first. I think here I'm going to be putting the cheese on first, and then the pepperoni, and then the rest of the toppings. Then we're going to get this in the oven. But yeah, I mean, if you want more recipes like this, like recipes you can use in your bread machine can do a lot of things. Some bread machines can make yogurt. Some bread machines can make jam, jellies. The one thing I will say though, for a bread machine, it's fabulous if you want to make just a dough. You obviously can use your dough in a mixer, do it by hand. But what I like about the bread machine is when the dough rises, it adds a little bit of that heat to it. If you cook it here, it's going to cook to the size of the pan. So I've been known to use the bread machine to put dough in it, let it go that hour and 40 minutes, and then actually move it into an actual bread pan, and do it that way. It's really up to you what you want to do, but it does the rising and everything for you, and it's just the two of us, so it works out just well. Alright, so now we're getting the pepperoni on here. I think we're moving this thing along. I don't know if you guys want to hear music or not. I'm new to this YouTube thing. I just enjoy cooking, and I enjoy doing things for my husband and the meals that he likes, and cooking for my kids, and cooking their favorite meals when they come over. I think they prefer for me to cook for them other than going out to eat. I prefer to go out to eat, but hey, I'll cook for them any day of the week. Just some of the things that your kids grow up with, and a lot of people are asking for my recipes. Like, YouTube was a thing back in the day, and I'm going on 50 years old. I just been doing this for a very long time, and so I think sharing the recipes with my kids so they can carry on here in the future, and for my grandkids as well. And yeah, I mean, there you go, Key. I didn't slave away in this kitchen. The bread machine did the work. All I had to do was put the dough on the pizza pans and put the toppings on it, and it's
You
going
know, I
in
was
the
at
oven. So
Walmart going
there you go,
shopping
Keith.
yesterday.
There you go.
It seems like they had no name brands on the shelf. Everything was Walmart brand. From the
But
cheese
yeah,
to the
if you
canned
guys have
stuff,
other recipes that
everything
you
was
like,
Walmart
you know,
brand.
put them down below. I know there's a lot of cooking channels on YouTube. I know that there's a lot of different,
I thought
you
that was
know,
kind of odd.
great and wonderful cooks. I watch a lot of them, and I learned a lot from them as well. These were not things that we had. It
Because
was
my
passed down
first
from family to
pick of
family, and my
cheeses is
mom never
not the
taught me how to
Walmart
cook. My
brand
grandmother
cheese
never
because
taught
it
me how to
just
cook.
does not
I don't
have
think my
that
grandmother really cooked
creaminess
much.
to it.
My mom never really cooked much either. It was all
Um,
just pretty simple.
but the only cheese I
Um,
could choose
you
from
know,
was
I just
Walmart cheese.
enjoyed cooking. I
Great Value was the
back
only thing
in
there.
that
And the
day, all we
pepperoni.
had was a
It
bunch
was only
of
Great Value
cookbooks.
pepperoni.
So that was my
Like
go-to
no hormone
cookbooks.
pepperoni.
Today, you have so much more
And I thought that was
um,
odd too.
when it comes to cooking
They did have
and
some
baking
salami there.
and all those
So I was
wonderful
thinking of
things.
Roman
And
burgers. That would be
I'm
a great
sure
video to make.
the more I do these videos,
But
the
the
better I'm going to
salami,
get at them
get this,
as far as what
was
you guys are
expired
looking
2
for. So
months
leave in
ago
the
and had
comments
hold
below
on.
what you would have me do differently in these
So I just
videos.
wasn't in the mood
I
to
wish I
pick
could
up
figure out
salami
how
at that
to
time.
pull these into an avatar. And then
So
I'd love to have
I
an
was like,
avatar cooking for
yeah,
me
we're not going to do Roman burgers this
in my
round.
place for sure. But anyway, I should probably be playing some music because now we're getting a little bit longer. So let me find some music. All right, so we are getting down to the end here. As you can see, now I'm putting on a frozen mix of green peppers, red peppers, and onions. That actually works out pretty well. We're getting to the point here to where we're going to be putting this here into the oven, and we're going to cook this for about 20 minutes. The cheese is going to be bubbly. It's going to be perfect. Uh, It's just it's just a really great recipe, very easy to make, and really good, especially if you have kids, and much better than frozen pizza, I can tell you that, and probably cheaper too. So as we are going to put this in the oven, like I said, it is going to cook the 20 minutes, and when it is done, um, it is going to look fabulous. So I really hope that you give this recipe a try and let me know how it turned out. Thank you for watching.